Well, hello. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for all joining me tonight. Man, I got a lot of stuff to talk about today. First of all, let's just say who's happy that President Donald Trump won the election? 47th president. After everything they tried to do to this guy, they tried to have him arrested. They tried to kill him. They tried to, do all these things. And here he was victorious. The media was completely and utterly against him. They called him Hitler. They called him a fascist, and yet he won. And do you know why? I believe it's because people are sick and tired of the liberal leftist garbage that they spew. I mean, think about this. And we all know they're full of crap anyway, right? Because how could they sit there and say that this is going to be a peaceful transfer of power to a man that they said was Hitler? If you really believe this man is Hitler, how could you possibly give a peaceful transfer of power? It just shows how utterly ridiculous these people are, how wicked they are, and how truly deluded and stupid they are. But I've got a real treat for you guys tonight. Because as you can imagine, as a result of President Trump winning, the liberal, leftist, Satanist, baby butchering homos are all in a tizzy right now. And I gotta say, it is rather enjoyable to see this. And for those of you who think it's unbiblical, because I did get lectured by some homo supporting whatever, talking about Christians don't do that. Well, I bring your attention to Proverbs 1:26, where it says, God will laugh at your calamity. He will mock when your dread comes. So there is a biblical standard. If you're like God, you will laugh when these. And again, but the thing is they're upset not because of anything substantive. There's no reason to cry. And besides that, what kind of person makes a video of themselves crying to share on the internet? Like, what do you think you're doing? And then go out of your way to record it and then post it. Who does that? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the future of our country if we don't do something. I believe, and we're going to talk about this later in a few minutes here, I believe that we have a reprieve from God. I believe we have an opportunity here. Oh, boy. Hold on one second here, guys. But the delusion is people, because again, you got to remember, and I'm responding right now to a guy. Nobody wants around you. They're just crying. Cry. But they think that they own, and you're going to see in a minute, they think that they're so elitist that they truly don't understand like how this happened, because they think that everybody just agrees with them. And if you don't, you're a fascist and a Nazi. I mean, these people are terrorists, whether you want to agree with it or not, but that's exactly what they are. There is no other way around it. But let's have a little bit of fun, shall we? Let's take a look at what happens when you live your life without God. When you're talking about how happy you are and how being gay and transgender and being on antidepressants makes you happy. Let's see if that's true, shall we? Let's take a look and let's have a good laugh.
Hey there, girlies. Well, so from here on out, we don't touch DL conservative men ever. Or any conservative.
Now, again, can I ask, what kind of conservative man wants that thing to begin with? I mean, is this man, because that's a guy, are there any conservative men even dating somebody like this? No, there's not. The thing is they think everybody wants them. Look at the haircut. You're going to notice a theme here. Nose rings, the short hair in the front. It's all the same. Men, real men, don't want people like this. They certainly don't want another dude unless you're a homo. But this is not what men want.
Conservative. Or don't care if they're DL or not, actually. Unless it's necessary, like really necessary.
So in other words, is don't have sex unless you're getting paid for it. So in other words, it's okay to be a whore. This is crazy.
Other than that, no more. None. Zero. And if you've been doing that anyways, ew, come on, you know, you're better than that. You're all better than that. All right. Have a good day.
What is wrong with you? I can't do this anymore. I'm literally sick. I'm literally sick to my stomach. What has happened to America? What has happened to democracy? What has happened to freedom? I'm done.
What happened to democracy? We had an election and he won. That's democracy. You can see the mental retardation in these people. And
Message to anyone who follows me. If you voted for Trump, unfollow me and block me. If you didn't vote, unfollow me and block me. The fact that it's this close means I've lost all hope in the American people.
look at these people.
Like, it should not be this close. Why would anyone vote for this person? He's so evil. He's so demented. Kamala's not perfect. We all know that. We all know that. She is not a convicted felon, rapist, crazy fascist, dictator, psycho.
This is what college does to people. This is what college, and these are the people that most Christians are afraid of. I mean, these people cry because CNN tells them to. I mean, come on, really? Just wait. It gets so much better.
Saved your ass, MAGA dude.
Thank you so much. We love you so much.
I don't love you.
But we love you.
I don't love you.
I hope God helps you.
I do not want your love. I want you to find yourself in a Princess Diana car accident.
Really? But why? We love you.
Wow. Now remember, these are the people that think that they're loving and tolerant, right? They will say guys like me who say homosexuality is a sin, abortion is murder. They say that is hate speech. But telling you that I want you to die, I want you to get into a mangled car wreck, that's not hate speech. I want you to really think about the terms that they're using and how they are trying to redefine things because it's their feelings, right? We have a lot of work to do in the 4 years. And after we're done with this here, we're going to talk about that because I do believe God gave us a reprieve. But this is the result if we don't. If we don't, these are the people that are going to take over. And again, it gets worse. Just watch. I can watch these all day. Now, for those of you who want to know, this 4B movement is basically liberal women saying no dating, no children, no sex, no nothing. I think that's fantastic because we don't want these people to breed anyway. And, because they're like, oh, we don't want to get pregnant. But this is the same group that claims that abortion isn't being used for birth control. So these people are literally taking themselves out of the gene pool. And you thought Donald Trump was going to be a problem, some of you. Donald Trump. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. But anyway, this 4B movement here. So these people are taking themselves out of the gene pool. How is that a bad thing? And who's sleeping with these freaks anyway?
To be facetious, but I don't care if you're a rose girl, a wand girl, or a monster alien tentacle girl. Stock up now for your moments of weakness, because I promise you ain't no alive worth getting stuck with a man. None. We are taking coochie off the table indefinitely.
I hate it here, so I will go to.
And I want you to think about this. These women think that all men just want to sleep with them because they're told that men are rapists, that we're this. So they really think that they think that a man who looks at them just simply wants them because they're women. Ugh.
Gardens in my mind, people need a key to get to. The only one is mine.
Make the babies, and since a man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one.
Damn, just turned on the news and seen that man who never got in school and making laws about what women could do. I got it.
You guys don't even know that these women are going crazy. And again, the level of narcissism, and you want to talk about privilege? These women, I mean, think about it. These people walk around thinking that all men just want to have sex with them. But I will say this, though. I will say liberal women have confirmed that they offer nothing but sex. Like, that's all they're good for. That's what they're saying. They're literally saying that they are worth nothing more than sex. So we're worth holding coochie. You're disgusting. What a filthy animal. This is what you call Jezebel. Trying to control men with sex. And by the way, men, seriously, do you really want that? I mean, do you really want that raising your children? Do you really want to go home to this every day? I mean, studies have shown that more than 50% of our liberal women have a mental health issue. They need Jesus. Okay, they got to stop. I mean, these people have such a high body count. Again, they've seen more penis than a urinal at Yankee Stadium, most of these women.
I was just walking down the street to go get my medication because I'm out and I need it for today. And I saw a woman walking her 2 kids, and she had this look on her face. And I looked at her, we made eye contact, we both kind of nodded. Like we were both just devastated. And you could just tell in her eyes. I can't believe this country did this again. Why did I let myself have hope?
But I mean, come on, this is who the church is catering to. Listen, we got to stop, treating these people. These are adults. These are grown people. They're not children. I mean, let me give you a hug. I don't want to give this person a hug. I want them to be delivered so they can stop this. Like, this is crazy and funny.
I'm going to get drunk today, and I'm going to act like an angry black fucking woman, because I'm fucking angry! I'm mad! I'm upset! I'm angry as fuck, bro. I'm angry. I'm hurt. My feelings are fucking hurt. We always finish last. We always come fucking last to everybody, even our own fucking men. And you niggas mamas be black. This shit is crazy. Y'all got black ass daughters. I'm angry as fuck. I'm gonna get drunk and call.
Wow.
Stop. See, that's why I'm recording. Because the cops ain't gonna believe this shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. I'm sorry. I mean, wow.
Hey, quick question. What the fuck?
Was it Motley Crue?
Hey, quick question. Are you fucking kidding me? No. Hey, quick question. Ah!
gosh.
I'm sorry. No! Why? Why? Do you really hate me?
this I mean, I want you to think about this because, again, as street preachers, this is like normal for us, right? This is what we see every time we go out and preach, every time we do something. That's what we run into. And these are the people that are claiming that what we say is hate speech. Listen to them. I mean, how is anybody even, remotely caring what these people think or say? We're not done. I got more.
How can you do this to us again? What the fuck? How are we supposed to live another 4 years like this? What the hell? What did you do to us?
It's time to go to bed. None of us are stressed about the election, right? We all are gonna just go have the best night's sleep of our lives, aren't we?
When did it end? All the enjoyment. I'm sad. When did it end? All the enjoyment. I'm sad again.
I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
It's not gonna happen. Go, Kamala.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't even have to freak out right now. We don't even have to fucking, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because, bitch, recount the vote!
Guys, I just voted, and I chose family. Let's end this reign of terror now. I chose family, I chose women, I chose America. I love you.
We're moving on. I'm moving on. We're moving on.
I love all of this. Let's do it. Let's do this.
We were wrong. It's an utter betrayal for anybody that is not a cisgendered white Christian.
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala, and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
What the fuck? Bitch! You fuck! What the hell?
I mean, come on. They're crying. I mean, it's not like they got hurt. It's not like they got robbed. It's not like whatever. They're crying. I'm sorry.
You guys got your cheap ass groceries and your cheap ass fucking gas because you're fucking broke as shit. You're fucking broke. You're fucking broke. Broke. I said I'm fucking being serious. You're fucking
Oh man. I mean, come on. I mean, seriously, you guys, this is who people are like, oh my gosh, we gotta love them. And again, not understanding what the word love means, of course. We've gotta, we've gotta do whatever. No, these people need to stop being coddled. They're used to being coddled their entire lives. They view the government as their God and the state as their Messiah, okay? They think the government's going to swoop in and save them because, and again, it's misplaced. These people are so messed up. And most of these are women, by the way, if you notice that. And these are women, by the way, that are doing this because they want to murder their babies, okay? That's the only reason why they're crying about this is because they want to be whores and kill their babies. That's it. And you're going to see proof of that. You've heard about the 4B movement, right? That's their way of saying we're not going to get pregnant, no dating, no sex, no nothing. Hey, wonderful. I mean, you're proving the point that we told you abortion is birth control to these people. They say, but this is proof, and it's proof that they know that their inherent value is worthless. The only thing they're good for is a vagina. And even that, would you really want that? I mean, seriously, it's first of all, fornication is a sin. That's number one. I mean, just wait.
Spicy. You guys feel spicy? Because I do. All right. I don't know how to use this thing. Let's see what happens. Is this cutting off hair? I'm going to have to cut it shorter than that. Does it down, right? I think that this is too... it's getting hair. Let's see here. Maybe I got to cut it. Here we go. Have I given up on America? I've also given up on coloring this hair because, right? Fuck coloring my hair. Fuck having my hair be long and luxurious. Fuck all that shit. Fuck being skinny. Fuck being hot. Fuck being all the things that the patriarchy wants us to be. Because clearly, they don't give a shit about us. And I'm talking to you too. Those of you ladies who have the internalized misogyny required to do what you did. Minorities who are so scared of a woman in power that you'd rather cozy up to the white man just in case some crumbs fall off his plate so that you may eat from them. Yes, scraps. I don't know how to work this thing, but I'm on my way. I'm gonna figure it out. Let's just do some cutting. You know why? Because this is taking too long. Here we go. Short hair we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're cutting it off because fuck you. That's why. You think I'm crazy? Me too. Crazy. Just like all the women before me who were crazy. So fucking crazy. You know what? It's been a day. It's been a year. It's been 9 years, 8 years, whatever it may be. Around this time, 8 years ago, it's one of the worst times of my life. That's when my life fell apart. Not because of this. Don't get too excited. I'm just talking about regular life stuff I talk about on here. But trust me, I understand. I've heard the message loud and clear. We all have. Now, women are going to have to just refuse to participate. Sorry, if you're a man, I will not be responding to you. If you are a man, I will not be talking to you. I am going to be promoting the 4B movement from here on out. Care. I don't care. Better scissors. My hair. Cutting it all off. Probably painting a target on my back here, but whatever. At least I live in a state right now that has civil rights still. And we voted out Brandon Williams. Fuck that guy. Back to Texas. From whence he came. We also voted yes on Prop 1, which will codify into law some equal right protections in the New York State Constitution. So we did that at least. I don't know what the other fuckers are doing, but I don't know, man. We are embarrassing on the world stage. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Seriously? Oh, I've never had short hair before, ever. It's kind of fun. All right, we're just going to keep chopping away here because this is literally going to take forever if I don't. Cut all the hair off. You know why? I'm not going to dye it anymore. I'm going to try and grow it out anymore. I'm not going to style it anymore. Fucking done. I will not be giving my money to the beauty industry anymore. I will not be giving my money to anyone that helps support misogyny and the patriarchy and keeping women down and making women think that we need to look a certain way or be a certain way or fuck you. Fuck you. Women, fucking stop dating men. Stop having sex with men. Stop talking to men. Divorce your husbands. Leave your fucking boyfriends. Leave them. They don't give a shit about you. And I promise you, come over to this side. I will bake cookies. I will shave your head if you want me to, depending on how this turns out. Do a little more trimming before we buzz it. Where's my chop it? Cut my hair before. It's like, oh, don't cut your own hair. All right. When people tell me I can't do something, I want to fucking do it. Just entering my middle-aged mom era. About to get the clippers out.
I mean, this is who, again, you can't coddle these people anymore. You just got to tell them the truth. They're going to be offended by it, but so what? I mean, remember when Paul preached and the Corinthians wanted to worship him because he was healing people, he rebuked him and then they tried to kill him for it. So the reaction of the sinner, it shouldn't change the way you preach because they get mad, because they act like, women are literally shaving their friggin' heads because of Donald Trump winning the election. And by the way, I'm not even saying Donald Trump's a Christian, but what I'm saying though is just, I got some more here, but I don't have any more room in the storage on here, so.
I'm fucking feral today. Feral! If you see me, keep walking. Do not make eye contact. Do not square up at me. Don't act like you know me. Like, I want to eat, like, maybe they voted for Kamala, but, like, I want to eat them right now. Like, I want to take a bite out of those glutes in a bad way. I'm fucking feral today.
Oh man, I'm not done.
So, now that the orange turd has won, we should now rename America Hell, because it isn't going to be hell on earth once they strip everyone's rights away that is no straight white cis man. So buckle up. Hope you freaking Republicans are happy. I'm out of here.
I'm pretty sure most people would be happy that he's out of here.
I would go as far to say that I would purchase a clock, and if you and I are walking on the same street and it's dark out and you're a white male, you have to be white for this to count, okay? If you're a white male, even if you don't approach me, I will shoot you. Yeah, I know. So, it has to be on the street, you and I, has to be at nighttime. During the day, not so much, but at nighttime, okay? And you have to have very white skin, and be a male. I would go as far to say that I would purchase a...
I mean, they're calling for our death, but remember, it's us that are hateful. It's us.
Be angry. No one gives a shit about your tears. Be angry. Hold people accountable. If you're able to leave your piece of shit right partner, do that. You wanted to get a divorce? Do it today. Be angry. I know that women are conditioned to feel sadness over anger, and so when we're angry, we cry. Okay, I do the same thing, but you need to be angry now. It's time to start acting that way. Decenter men. They don't like us anyway. You're being loud, be louder. They already hate you.
I mean, can you imagine like walking around and this is your mentality? Like, can you imagine how miserable these people must be? They're only happy when they have gay prides, when they can murder their children. That's all they care about. They are self-centered narcissists who hate everyone and everything. Don't you dare tell them what they're doing is wrong. Don't you dare tell them that what they're doing is sinful. No. And you see, the thing is their reaction is why Christians don't preach the right way or even the truth, because they're so afraid of they, them. because they're threatening, they're terrorists. There's nothing loving. There is nothing tolerant about them. The only thing they tolerate is butt sex and baby murder. That's it. Okay. And if you don't agree with them, believe me, they will not tolerate you. They will try. And again, this is who the churches are catering to. We are not required to be nice to these people. We are required to preach the truth to them. And if you don't preach the entire truth because of how they're going to react to you, then you don't love them. Okay? And if you define love the way they do, you just saw what they say and they think about you. I am a white male. I know, shocking. And we're the enemy to these Jezebels. And that's what it is. The Jezebel spirit has infected America. Now, again, when it comes to Donald Trump, you not only have that, but you have the snowflake Christians too, right? The Christians that are out there saying, oh my gosh, Donald Trump is the Antichrist. I mean, these people are so biblically illiterate. They don't even understand Bible prophecy. They don't understand much of anything, okay? Matter of fact, we used to stone false prophets back in the early days. Today, we platform them. Today, we ignore when they're wrong repeatedly over and over again. Okay, there are Christians out there that said, don't vote for Donald Trump, and you would have had Harris in there. Do you guys understand something? This is well beyond Donald Trump. Because of Donald Trump's presidency this 4 years, I want you to think about this. He is going to get 2, possibly 4 more Supreme Court picks, and they're going to be constitutional conservatives. Some of them are religious. Most of them will probably be Christian. At least they'll call themselves Christian, but they're conservatives, which means we're going to have an entire generation of religious freedom, free speech, and gun rights because of Donald Trump for another generation. Children will grow up in a generation where Roe v. Wade is not the federal law of the land. Okay? That is a result of that. And by the way, if you hate Donald Trump so much that you work to try to get people not to vote for him or whatever, then when if anybody does unfortunately try to infringe on your rights of police, you better not sue, because if Kamala got in, you wouldn't be able to. So don't take advantage of the Donald Trump presidency or legacy when you didn't want it. But I'm willing to bet every Christian that cried about Donald Trump will 150% take advantage of all the stuff there. And the same people, by the way, that say, oh, atheists shouldn't get the Christmas holiday off because they're not Christians. Well, if you want him to lose, then you shouldn't take advantage of his policy either. But we all know that that's not going to happen. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much people hated Donald Trump. And again, I don't think the guy's a Christian. And I know people say, well, he hosted a gay wedding at Mar-a-Lago. He talked about how he loves the gays. Listen, I don't say he's a Christian. I don't believe he's a Christian. I also know this for a fact, that Donald Trump did not in any way, shape, or form try to infringe on the rights of Christians in favor of the gays. I know for 150% fact, at least one person I know that stalks me, who railed against Donald Trump, who talks about Donald Trump hosting the gay wedding stuff, literally helped lesbians try to infringe on the constitutional rights of Christians. I know that to be a fact. You guys know that too. So, how hypocritical are you? I mean, these people are so, brain dead. Donald Trump, it says in the Bible, in Luke, if they're not against you before you, leave them alone. If Donald Trump's presidency is going to give me as a Christian more opportunity to preach, I'm all for it, whether he's Christian or not. If he's going to leave us alone, and there's going to be laws in the books or a constitutional court that's going to uphold our rights and our freedoms to preach the word and preach the gospel, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that. And I'm going to vote for that all day long. And anybody who doesn't is an idiot. I mean, you got to be. But you see, people so desperately, they're miserable. And Christians, you saw those crazy people crying and whining, film themselves doing it. But there's a lot of crybaby Christians out there too, believe me. Sorry, I was trying to get rid of that. But there's a lot of crybaby Christians out there, you guys. A lot. Remember that, okay? And they hate us as much as the left does, right? I can't tell you how many times, okay, because afterwards, Dave and them went down to preach. They preach in Austin. I couldn't go with them this trip. I got diagnosed with strep throat again, so but regardless, I couldn't go with them this trip, okay? They went down to preach, and they preached at, the same high school we preached at. You remember at McComb High School where the kids were acting all crazy? They preached down there, and they went to Texas State University. They went and preached down there, and, they held the two banners up, and it caused a riot. The cops had to come in and get them out. But the three of the students, I have it on video. If you go look on the channel there, it's there, stole one of the banners, tore it up, ripped it up, and burned it. And they did it on video, by the way. You can see who the kids are. It's not like they tried to hide it. They openly did it. No problem. The police, you can see in the same video, got a hold of it, retrieved the banner. But when Dave and them went to go get the banner, the police said, "Oh, sorry, we threw it away." How is that legal? How is that even legal? The police can throw away somebody's property because they didn't like the message. Oh, don't worry. We're going to hold them accountable. We were talking to our lawyers tomorrow and everything else because the police can't do that. Not only that, but when these kids were throwing hot coffee, water, spitting, kicking, the cops saw them do it and just said, "Hey, don't do that." They they stole and vandalized somebody's personal property. They should be prosecuted, at the very least, kicked out of school for it. The principal, the president said, "Oh, we don't tolerate this. The students respond in love to the hate." Go on TikTok. They're talking about murdering us when we go back there, and we are going back there. They're publicly calling for our death. At the same sentence saying that we're hateful. See, I don't ever say, "Hey, let's go harm somebody physically." I don't ever call for that. All I ever say is that things should be a capital offense, but that's the government doing that, not us. I don't ever advocate for any violence against anyone unless it's for self-defense. And yet they say, if you say homosex is sin, they say that's hateful. That shouldn't be allowed. And how is that free speech? Because these colleges are making these kids brain dead. They're on so many psychotropic medications. They don't know what's up and down, right or left. They don't know anything. They don't know free speech. They don't understand that. They don't get that. See, the thing is, they're so full of themselves that they literally think that their feelings are the barometer of truth. That if they say something hateful, well, then it's got to be. And it's not. That's not how it works. Or else it's not really free speech. It's speech that only they're allowed to approve of, which is unconstitutional and illegal. Okay, even the Supreme Court says nobody can decide what hate is because they say it's hate, we say this hate, they say whatever. Nobody can really quantify it. And again, so many people in the church today are so concerned with being friends with the world that you have Christians that, go look at the comments on the YouTube channel. I posted a video of the Christians from that college. This is the wrong way of doing it. Oh, really? How do you do it? With love. Well, what does that mean? Again, I must have asked a dozen people today. Define love. What does that mean? What does love really mean? None of them can answer the question. You're just a homophobe and a bigot. See, Christians don't know how to deal with people in the world anymore because we're so banging on our doors. The only people we deal with are the sinning Christians. The church doesn't deal with these actual sinners that are in the world. They are angry, they are violent, and they hate the truth. So what most Christians do is they avoid speaking the truth because they're afraid of the backlash. They're afraid of being, assaulted. But the Bible says that's going to happen. And as a result of us pulling back, not taking the word onto the street, coddling these kids and when they're, giving them participation trophies, telling them that somehow they're special and the world is their oyster and all these things here. They have this mentality. They go to school with their peers telling them if it feels good, do it. That anything that doesn't make you feel good, anything that hurts your feelings is hate speech. These kids literally they locked down a building on that college campus in Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas, because they felt unsafe because of vinyl with letters on them. They felt unsafe. And they're saying because they felt unsafe, they have a right to take a gun and shoot us because our words hurt their feelings. That's where we are. And somehow we think that their definition of love is the appropriate one. Somehow we have to think and cater to, well, hey, these guys say it's not loving, and we want to make sure they perceive it as loving. So do we want them to see us as loving, or do we want God to see us as loving? Do we want to be judged by they, them, or do we want to be judged by God Almighty? Do you want to offend them? Are you more concerned with offending them, or are you concerned with offending God? And I know I'm speaking to the choir for the most part here, but I see a lot of conservatives. I see a lot of Christians out there, so-called, and everybody thinks they know Jesus. I mean, think about it. These are people that say, I got a message. How dare you? How dare you say that two people love each other is sinful? Well, the Bible says that. That's what it says. That's not what Jesus said. That's exactly what he says. And it's, well, you don't know Jesus. I mean, think about this. We're making doctrines off of what they then preach. Next thing you know, they're going to have butt sex and drag shows in church. Oh, wait a minute. They already do that in some churches. The pervasion of perversion has literally worked itself into every facet of our community, every facet of our life. You can't do anything without some faggot, talking about butt sex. They'll tell you, oh, we don't just talk about sex, but that's all they talk about. Their entire life is contingent upon who they sleep with. And again, I pointed this out with that young lady out at the college in Amarillo, when I talked to her about love, and she said, oh, love is unconditional. And I pointed out to her, and you saw her break down in tears and cry. Love is not unconditional to them, because them loving people is contingent upon what those people say and how those people make them feel, right? So again, if you're preaching and they don't like it, they call it hateful. But yet they could say that because they don't care about you, right? Again, love to them is literally all about feelings. And Christians have capitulated to this for far too long. For me, I would rather, and praise God, I'm not alone, but I would rather be out there preaching alone. I'd rather be out there by myself than ever compromise for a bunch of they, thems who cater to these emotional women. And I'm sorry, women, you may not like what I'm going to say here, but I really don't care, because the truth is the truth. Okay? Women are the weaker vessel. Men are the authority in the household. Okay? While it is true, men and women are equal in value to God. Men and women are absolutely 150% both equal in value to God. We are not equal in stature. Women are not allowed to teach in churches. Women are not allowed to be the head of their households. The world says they should be. The world wants them to be. And you know what? Women use sex as a weapon to try to control their men. Well, if you don't let me be the head, I'm not going to give it up to you. If you don't vote the way I want, if you don't let me murder my babies, I'm not going to have sex with you. And too many men are so consumed with this, and that's why I said I'm going to do a video soon, that every woman and modern day woman has some sort of feminism in them. They have been conditioned by something. I don't care how rudimentary it is. There is a drop of feminism in almost every single modern day woman because of what's been promoted so much, that when I say that men and women are equal in value to God but not equal in stature, there are going to be some Christian women that absolutely go crazy over that, talk about no. Today's women think that men and women should both be submissive to each other in marriage, okay? That men and women are both the head and that need to submit to each other. That's not what the Bible says, but yet that's what women say. And most of those women that say that, by the way, are divorced, they're single, or their men are a bunch of Ahabs who've given their wife their balls to carry on their purse, and they can go like this and jingle it like a little bell, go, come on. America is not a patriarchy. They're trying to make it into a matriarchy. A bunch of pissed off women on their periods are just mad because they can't kill their babies. That's the truth. You can call me misogynist if you want. I really don't care. I've got my wife. I've got 5 daughters and 2 sons. My house is literally full of women, and not a single one of them thinks I'm misogynistic. Not, a matter of fact, my wife just came down here. You saw I paused a minute ago to ask me about something. And I told her, I said, in the situation there, I said, you never have to ask me if that's okay, because when it comes to babies and all that stuff, I will gladly open our home up to any baby that needs it. I don't care. But you see, my wife and I, we discuss things. We don't ever make decisions. But like my wife will tell you, I ask her for input. I value her opinion. I value her input. But ultimately, decisions for our family come down to me. But I would be a bad steward if I didn't at least consult with my wife and ask her, what do you think? That doesn't put her ahead of me. It simply means I value, because you know what? My wife has to be the one. My wife's the one who keeps the house clean. My wife is the one who gets the kids off to school every day. You know, where I would be a complete jerk to just say, screw you, woman, it's my way. Now, yes, at the end of the day, the decision falls on me. But as a good steward, as somebody who does love his wife, I value and respect her opinion so that I can take that into account when I make my decision. Okay? But that's the way it is. But instead, we got these women that are saying, no sex, no sex. Well, that's great. You should be having sex for a marriage anyway. But I promise you, no real man is sleeping with these women. Nobody wants these women anyway. So take yourself out of the gene pool. That's a good thing. No more abortions. That's a good thing. Don't get knocked up. Don't have sex. Don't get pregnant. That's what we preach. Abstinence is the best way to not get pregnant. Right? You don't get pregnant. You don't get abortions. Abortion is not birth control. So I'm in favor of the 4B movement. I'm in favor of it. And by the way, men, if you're with one of these women and they're threatening you, get out. I don't ever advocate for divorce, but if that woman is a Jezebel and she's using that to control you, if you live with this woman, you know what? You need to go. You need to get out of that situation. You need to pray for her, but you need to get away from that woman. I'm sorry. But, you know, again, a lot of people are going to come out for that one, but there's no way in hell a man should ever stay with a woman like that. That's going to say, I'm not going to sleep with my husband for 4 years because he voted for Donald Trump. What are you, freaking nuts? America is literally at a tipping point right now. And like I said, I believe that America has a reprieve. And a reprieve is not permanent, by the way. It just means that something is being held back. I believe that we're going to continue. You know, God is allowing us to continue in sin, but at the same point, he's allowing Christians to go out there and say, deal with it. Preach against it. Go out there. Get people to turn from sin. And that's all this is, I believe, is a temporary window to try to bring some sense and bring some sanity back, to reach the masses, to get people to wake up, to do something for this country, to turn it back to God. Don't blow it. Okay? We need to get out of our feelings. This goes for Christians as well, and get into the Bible. We need to stop platforming whack jobs. Okay? And again, I know it's easier said than done because social media really, oh my God. Oh, wow. Oh, that's it. Wow, that video. Whoa. Oh my gosh. I'm going to share this with you guys. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I know I just interrupted that. Wow.
Good morning. It is November 7th, Thursday, and I've got my lipstick on today, so I'm a little bit more together. We're putting a plan together. I cannot live in a country that voted for Trump. I cannot spend another 4 years under that man. And so we have made the decision that we are leaving. We're putting a plan together. Our plan is to go back to Australia, and by back, that is where obviously Tam and our daughter Jordan was from. I'm working on immigration paperwork for spousal visa. I'll probably end up going over on a tourist visa initially because the spousal visa takes a while. I'll probably have to leave at some point and go to like Vietnam or Moorea, and then come back to Australia, waiting for the paperwork to go through. But we're getting quotes on selling the house. We're getting ready. I'm getting quotes on moving boxes to Australia. We're getting quotes on moving our dog and cat to Australia. And we are in the process of selling everything. I'm hoping to be out of here by mid-January.
Yes.
So that's the news. We've buckled up. We've made a decision. We are not spending any more time in America under Donald Trump. There's just no way. And I feel bad and sorry for all the women and all the members of the queer community that are still here, and what life would be like under that person. So take care of yourselves, and I wish all of you the best. I will continue to post videos as we get ready for our travel out of here, and as well as continuing my NASA days. Probably Saturday will be the next one. But I wanted to give you an update on what we're doing. So hope you all have a great day.
Oh.
Because I have an IQ of 130, but I want the men in this country to know that half the female population, we're dry. We're probably gonna stay dry. I'm dry as a desert, baby, and I don't want it to change. Yeah, we're not gonna like you anymore. You understand that? Like, it doesn't matter if you take away abortion. Like, we'll want to have your babies even less, right? Even if you take away contraception, like, women are really good at celibacy because you guys are actually a threat to us. So we have a lot less to gain from you. So yeah, 4B all the way. Let's make some money, I guess. That's all we can do now.
Let's see here.
In the world, on the street, in the store, that potentially voted to take away my rights and the rights of my friends and the rights of my family shakes me to my fucking core. These people live among us, and they look at us like they have done nothing wrong, or like we're overreacting, because to them, it's a football game. It's red versus blue. But to us, it's our fucking lives. And there are secret Trumpies in our lives every fucking day, and we have no clue because they lie and say that they voted for someone that they did not vote for, obviously. Or they don't talk about politics, which we all know what the fuck that means. Thankfully, I have a group of friends that we talk about this shit. We know what each other stands for. We know who the fuck we're voting for. But the fact that there could be acquaintances in my life, people who live in places that I used to live, that I used to know, that I used to go to school with, to know that I know those people, and to know that they potentially voted to take away the rights of people that they know and used to know is insane.
Oh, it's their lives. I mean, if it was their lives, they'd be the ones getting aborted, not their babies. Because that's what it is. And I always ask these women, I say, what rights don't you have? I mean, tell me. Can you tell me, by the way, where is abortion found in the Constitution? Where is it a right to murder children? It has never been anybody's right to murder children. I'd like to see that anywhere. It just doesn't exist. I mean, these people are insane. And I only show this to you for two reasons. One, because it is hilarious. Come on, you got to admit it's hilarious. But number two is to show the insanity of what we are dealing with here. And to show you guys that we can't coddle them. If you think you're going to walk up and say, let me give you a hug, Jesus loves you, and you think they're going to accept that from you, and unless you flat out say to them, yes, I support your sinful lifestyles, no. See, at the end of the day, you will hide your true agenda, churches. You will hide it. You won't come out and say, that homosex is sin. It is a sin, okay? These people view that as hate speech. They view the biblical text as it is written as hate speech. They need to redefine it. And our colleges and our everything else are not helping. I told you about Dave preaching down that text. I want to read you a couple of news articles. All right, I want you to see this for yourself. So I'm going to read these articles here. This one is Community Response to Agitators. Okay. Community Response to Agitators return with show of support. This is the day after. So this is the high school, right? You're going to read this. These are kids. These are 17-year-old kids, right? They're almost adults who were so upset by the homosexual sin banner that they had to go color. The Mac community responded to hate speech from outside agitators this morning with a counter message of love and support. At roughly 8:15 this morning, a group of agitators from the official street preachers gathered in front of the campus, yelling and holding signs with hateful messages that disparaged Jewish students, Muslim students, LGBTQ students, abortion activists, and more. This group is not new to MAC. On August 22nd, 2023, they threw the MAC community off by showing up just before school dismissed. That was fun. With no prior warning. Today, though, was a different story as the group told police at Austin High on Monday that they were coming to McCallum on Tuesday, and after showing up on the Election Day holiday to find no students on campus, the group made plans to come back today. On Tuesday night, Principal Boxa sent out an email to parents, staff, and students alerting them of the possible presence of these individuals, having learned from last year's experience. Boxa laid out a clear plan which diverted students from the main agitator at Sunshine Drive sidewalk right in front of the entrance of the school. We responded about as best as we could in that situation, he said. We rerouted our students. That way, the kids riding in the buses wouldn't have to go through the protesters to get into the schools. We sent out the message and let parents have that conversation with students. Let students prepare so they weren't just walking in blindsided by seeing people spewing hate speech. So these are educators, right? Educators that are saying we say it's hateful. They're saying the Bible is hateful. Principal Boxer joined some district personnel in creating a barrier between agitators and the school. In the background, a member of the official preachers held the signs as Muslims or terrorists. Well, they are. They 100% are. But it hurts their feelings. So they do this so much that they're taking on, you want to talk about, if anybody's a Nazi here, it's them. Because they don't want you or anyone else to hear a differing opinion. It's hate. Don't listen to it. They are really good at trying to keep the fragility. And look, those kids are going to grow up into what we just saw in those videos. But anyway, along with the physical plan, Boxa vocalized a moral one. The biggest thing that we need to do was not do what they wanted, he said. They came here because they want to be able to engage with people. That's true. They want people to get upset with what they're saying. No, we don't want them to get upset. We just know that that's what they do. We can't battle hate with hate. We've got to battle hate with our version of love. Well, at least he's honest and said it's their version. The plan to ignore the agitators worked, especially when the MAC community and people like freshman Harriet Zettner found a means to express their version of love. When it came to school today, my mom, front desk clerk and substitute coordinator Sarah Zettner, suggested going outside with chalk and drawing rainbows and stuff like that around the entrance of the school. So my brother went out, and there we started drawing. We drew things like rainbows, pride flags, BLM mist, and Palestine flags, and more. These are almost adults coloring for therapy. Chalk on sidewalks. My 5, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kids do that, not 17. Quickly, more and more people joined in on the sidewalk chalk drawing. Without engaging, the agitators acknowledging their verbal attacks. Other people started coming out and helping, including one of my friends, who brought a speaker to play songs. By 8:30, there was a ton of people out there drawing kind messages and uplifting the MAC community instead of spreading more hate towards the protesters. Sophomore Tegan Hahn joined in, creating a message with the chalk. There's mainly directed at supporting the groups that were the targets of the specific attacks made by the agitators. Oh. Me and my close friend Peyton wrote in chalk phrases and symbols that were in protest of the protesters. She's a Christian and wrote Bible verses about spreading love versus hate and love thy neighbor as thyself. She's not a Christian because, again, love your neighbor, they have no idea what that means. Which I thought was inspiring because the agitators claimed to be Christian and were spouting hate speech in the name of God, which was just horrible. And I think that writing those Bible quotes took power away from them. It didn't, because those Bible verses, we as Christians actually know what they mean. They don't. Even though the agitators are directing negativity towards students, like Han, it didn't feel like it to her. There were teachers holding up rainbow umbrellas against the protesters, kind of like they were protected. It made me feel like the threat was a whole lot smaller. The threat, because words are a threat. The arrival of the agitators was originally yesterday, election day, until they realized that school wasn't open due to the election. So when they made their way back today, for some students like Han, their messaging could have been overwhelming, but the community's reaction turned into something different. Seeing the community come together, especially at a time like this, gives me hope for a lot of other things too, she said. Doing this the morning after the election kind of sparked something in me. I want to continue to find that uplifting, safe feeling that this community gives. I'm proud of our kids. I love their perseverance. I'm glad to be standing on the side of goodness. Like I said, we live in an age now, folks. We live in a time where evil is called good and good is called evil. That's literally where we are. We live, again, you can see this by the way they do. We can see the Bible being fulfilled right before our eyes. What they call good evil, and they call what is evil good. The Bible tells us that's going to happen in the last days. And that's what we see happening. Butt sex, abortion, Black Lives Matter, Palestine, which by the way doesn't even exist. These are seen as moral goods to these people. And it's why, and this is proof, by the way, that the church has failed them. The Christian girl out there says, love your neighbor. But if you ask her, what does that mean? They have no clue. And most churches today, they don't know either. Most pastors that I meet, when you ask them, where did Jesus quote that from? They didn't even know that Jesus was quoting Old Testament. They had no clue. Most Christians I meet today have no idea that that was an Old Testament passage that Jesus was quoting. Matter of fact, most people, even some street preachers I know, don't even know that that's Old Testament. I mean, Harvard professors canceled classes so students could process Trump's. I mean, we are raising a bunch of freaking babies. And the church kowtows to them. It's all about love. Yeah, their version of love. I mean, these people are I'm so glad. And I think we need to support this for because these people should not breed. We need to have more Christian children. We need to have more children that are going to grow up not perverted and not like siding with this garbage. These kids need the truth, and their parents aren't going to give it to them. Now, again, I'm not real big, on going to small kids and with the homosexual sin message because they don't get that. But high schoolers, they understand that. Most of these high schoolers think that I'm a Christian and gay sex is good and free Palestine. From what? There is no such thing as Palestine. It's a bunch of terrorists. I mean, again, women's rights. Where were all these women's rights when Hamas came in and raped and brutalized women in Israel? Not a word about that. Not a single solitary word about that. See, the thing is, they don't really care about women's rights. They care about their own feelings. They only want to say, I want the right to murder my baby. That's all they care about is themselves. It's about self-preservation. And it's not even self-preservation because they're not the ones who are being butchered. It's my life. Keep your damn legs closed and you ain't got to worry about it, which you seem to be kind of doing that yourself anyway. So that's awesome. Okay. But my message today for the Christians is the reprieve that we have right now. Like I said, Donald Trump's presidency, it's beyond him. Okay. He's just a guy. This is about the generation that we're going to have a conservative court that upholds free speech, religious freedom, gun rights. And again, if you're one of those people that tried to keep Trump from winning or anything else, don't you dare. And again, I don't think most of those people have to worry about it anyway, because most of those people, they don't do it much anyway where anyone's going to infringe their rights. They're just, keyboard warriors that run their mouth on social media. But if they did, for some reason, if they ever did, I hope to God that you never take advantage. Okay. Never take advantage of the policies that will be directed as a result of it, because otherwise you're a hypocrite. Just saying. Okay. So we have to stop platforming crazy, wacko people who call themselves Christians. Just because somebody says they're a Christian doesn't mean that they are. Okay? Doesn't mean that they are. It's insanity. As for me and as for, those of you who want to know what to do next, just preach. Just preach. That's all you can do is tell them the truth. Are they going to hate you for it? Yep. Are they going to sit there and call you hateful? Yep. They did the same thing to Jesus. They did the same thing to him. So we're in good company. They literally did the same thing. So why should you expect to be treated any different from people who want to molest your kids, right? And don't say they don't, they do. Okay? They absolutely 150% do. Everything they do is to literally try to get a hold of your kids. Okay? Everything. Every single thing is about children. I mean, you don't see drag queens going to dance and twerk in front of old people's homes. You don't find that happening. I wonder why that is. Why don't they go out to the old folks' homes? Why don't they go out to, adult things? Why does it always have to be children? Why do they always need, I mean, this is a question that they refuse to answer. And they'll say, some of them will say, and the ones that do answer, will say things like, we need to protect trans kids. From what? From what do you need to protect them? We're trying to protect kids from you. We're trying to protect kids from your ideology, because to these people, kids are nothing more than props. They're nothing more than props to try to push an agenda. That's it. Our agenda is simply God and Jesus Christ. Nothing more, nothing less. All we want is for people to be saved. We want kids to be left alone. We want kids to stop being mutilated. We want babies to stop being murdered. Every single one of those is a biblical mandate that we Christians need to push and we need to preach. Because you know what? You saw those videos. They did that in 2016. They did it now in 2024. And these kids at the high school, 17 years old. Some of them are probably 18 years old. Literally felt the need to color rainbows on a sidewalk like a 5-year-old. How many of those people that are crying in those videos, I guarantee you 90% of them are probably on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications, all of that stuff. Okay? And this is the people, and so churches, my message to you, stop catering to these delusional people. Stop using what their definition of love is and start using what the Bible calls love. Because you know what? By you doing that, you're making it much harder for us. The men and women who are out in the streets, who are actually dealing with people out there. Okay, because these people aren't coming to your churches. Okay, let's be honest with yourselves. They're not. They're not at all. Just stop, because you know what? You're going to answer to God for this. You can do whatever mental gymnastics you want. You can do whatever things you want to do to try to justify your stance, to try to justify, all these different things. But you know what? At the end of the day, you can try to convince yourself. You can convince whatever, but you cannot deceive God. You cannot deceive God. You can try, but your virtue signaling, all this other insane things that you do. Like I said, you're not going to deceive God. You're just not. And if you're a Christian out there and you're saying things like, "Oh my gosh, the mark of the beast here," you're an idiot. Number one, you're an idiot. Number one. There's Luciferes. People have Luciferes. They got the mark of the beast. They got the name of the beast in them. You're an idiot. I mean, seriously, Lucifer isn't even the name of the devil. It's a title, which means light bearer. It's not even his name. And there's some people that are so upset, they read something, they go, "Oh, Luciferus, there it is." They don't even understand that the shot doesn't even have it in it. It was used to light up the virus so they could see it to develop it. By the way, Luciferus is also the name of the chemical that's found in lightning bugs' butts. So I guess they're mark of the beast too. I mean, honestly, when do we stop listening to whack jobs like this? When do we start to saying, dude, you're crazy. You're not a Christian. The Bible, because you know what? The false prophets, the reason they're false prophets is because they want attention on them. They need to go beyond the Bible because they want to make it about themselves. I have this knowledge. You need to follow me. You need to listen to me to get this revelation because you simply don't have it. And if you disagree with me, it's because you're not a real Christian, because you're a sinner, because you don't agree with me. Therefore, you are blaspheming the Holy Ghost. It's literally a cult-like, narcissistic, egocentric person that does stuff like that. There's nothing that I say to you that you can't find true in the Bible. I don't have any special knowledge that God gave me that you can't find in the pages of the Bible. The only difference that God tells me that maybe he didn't tell you is what he tells me that I specifically need to do. Okay? I don't get special revelations that, hey guys, God told me this, not you. Okay? We as Christians, we have to deal and contend with the world and the fakes and the phonies, the false prophets, the false teachers, because you know what? They hate you just as much. They hate you just as much. Like I said, in the Old Testament, false prophets, they didn't have Facebook to propagate on. They didn't have all these things here. Instead, they were quickly dealt with. They were ignored and or stoned. Now, I'm not advocating for stoning them today, but because we have a secular government. But the point is that we shouldn't be platforming them. We shouldn't be encouraging them in the least bit. Everybody, I mean, come on. There are people out there. I saw a couple months ago somebody saying MAGA is the highest order of Satanism. Dumbest thing ever. It's an acronym. Make America. You can find anything, but people, this is what they latch onto something, and what they want to do is they want to gaslight you because of their personal convictions. They're no better and no different than LGBT activists. And some of them even help the LGBT, just, But we as Christians need to keep our eyes focused. The world is going to hate you. If you're a church and you're afraid of what they're going to do, then stop being a church. Because the whole point of the church is for the saints. It's not for the sinner. I know. You've been taught that the church is not a hospital not a museum for saints, a hospital for sinners, but that's not true. Nowhere in the Bible is the body of Christ, the ecclesia, for sinners. You don't see sinners meeting in the church. You only do it in Corinthians, and Paul said you should be mourning and kick the person out. He rebuked them for allowing sinners, unrepentant sinners, in the church. The church is the place to equip the saints. It is a place for us to get educated on the word, to fellowship, to pray, to sharpen all these things each other. It is not. But you see, again, the function of the church in America today has been so diluted that people go there for an emotional high, an emotional experience. Okay, and that's why they can't deal with emotional people like this, because they're just as emotional as them. Because again, the people in the church, everything is about their emotional experiences. How are they any different than these people screaming and crying online? Because the same people will tell us that we're hateful too. And the thing is I don't care what people say about me. Hate, I don't care. None of that's going to change what I say or what I do. But I will say this, though, my resolve is strengthened because I believe we have a small window here to try to get something done. And we're going to take advantage of it. Okay? Because the truth needs to be told. People need to be warned. The truth needs to be out there. You know what? Because these kids, these college kids, these high school kids, they're not getting it. The world how many 19-year-olds have STDs already? How many of them have had abortions at 19 years old? I mean, like I said, I know somebody who's 14-year-old is engaged in sexual activity, and the parent just goes, what are you going to do? They're 14. The problem is that parents, they want their kids to be their friends. They don't want to be parents. Because again, love is contingent upon how they do or treat or see me. Right? That's what it is. I know my child will know I love them because I'm letting them do what they want. I'm not being too hard with them. Again, it's all based upon how they feel. Because the world has redefined love, and Christians, churches have all used that definition. But you know what? It's not going to fly. We stand before God. It's not going to happen. Liberals, they hate God. Everything that they do, everything, homos, abortionists, adulterers, fornicators, everything they do is diametrically opposed to the Bible. Okay, the same people that claim that butt sex is good are trying to tell you what a Christian should do. They're trying to, why? Because they're convicted deep down. They don't want the truth. You see, the thing is the reason they live their life the way they do is because they need constant validation, because they can never fill that emptiness that dwells within them. They can never get a peace in their life because internally they know that what they're doing is wrong. And in order to appease that guilt, in order to appease that voice that says this is wrong, they need constant validation, constant assurance from outside sources. And when they don't get it, it drives them mad. It drives them wild because they need that. That's the difference between they, them, and a Christian. See, I don't need they, them to tell me anything. I could care less what they think about me. Most of them think that I'm hateful, bigoted. I don't care. I don't care. I have peace in my life. I know who I am because God told me who I am. I don't need validation from external sources. I don't need the state to come in and be my Messiah. The only thing the state can do that we can take advantage of is to protect our God-given rights as outlined in the Constitution. And it says that these are God-given rights that cannot be granted to us by a state and cannot be taken away by a state. Okay? If you need people to validate you, it's why you see these people all the time. I'm leaving Facebook. No, they're not. You'll see them pop up in like a week later. You know why? They're doing that because they want you to convince them to stay. They need you. So they could say, I've changed my mind because, so many people have told me to stay. Reality, it's like 3 or 4, right? All they need is 1 or 2 people. And they think that, wow, see, they really want me. They need that assurance. They need that confirmation. Because I see it so many times. I can't tell you how many times a certain somebody has said, I'm leaving Facebook for good. I probably got, over the last 5 years, I probably got, 4 or 5 screenshots over the years saying, I'm leaving Facebook, I'm done, it's the mark of the beast. And yet there they are 2 days later. Well, due to overwhelming response, I'm staying on. It's nothing more than trying to seek validation. That's all it is. It's nothing to it. A real Christian, a real follower of Jesus Christ, doesn't need validation from an external source. Shouldn't matter what people think or say. I'm not going to leave simply because you want me to leave. I could care less. I'm going to do what I do because God tells me to, because I know who I am in Christ. It's as simple as that. And you can have that peace in your life too. All you got to do is turn from sin. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard of a concept. Like I said, back to Donald Trump real quick. You want to talk about that. Donald Trump not even in office yet. And look what this man did in 3 days? He's got leftist women to not have sex, to stop getting pregnant, and slow down abortion if they actually do it. These women are crazy and they're whores. They're never going to stop that for long. They're only going to threaten it, thinking that men are going to overwhelmingly say, I'm sorry, because they want them so badly. When they realize that's not going to happen, you're going to see that whole thing fizzle out because they're just whores and they can't help it, right? That's just who they are. But even if they did maintain it, that's a good thing, right? So abortion will be lower. They're gonna take themselves out of the gene pool, right? You got Putin already saying that he's ready to negotiate. You got Hamas within a day saying that they want the war to end. You got the leader in Turkey meeting with Trump now. You got all these things happening. The Dow Jones went up 1,200 points for futures the night he got elected. I mean, nothing bad is going to happen, for all of us. And I pray that Donald Trump does get genuinely saved. I pray, because you know what? You can say what you want, but people think that God intervenes in their life when a lot less happens to them than what happened to Donald Trump. Okay, a lot less has happened to you, but I guarantee you can find instances where you say, "Look, God did this, God did that." He survived 2 assassinations, and one of them really was it just hit his ear. I know. He got a mortal wound. Getting shot in the ear is not a mortal. I know people want to jump on the crazies that calls us Christian, want to jump on all these things here. And they latch on these crazy things, but an ear is not a mortal wound. Okay. It wasn't a miracle that he survived. I mean, it's not a miracle that he survived. It's a miracle it's how he survived. It's a miracle that he turned his head just at the right angle at the right time for that bullet to just, hit his ear and not his head. If he had turned just this much more, he'd be dead. Okay. Then the second one was, all the lawfare. I mean, it is amazing to me that you can deny that God had his hand in that. Now, again, I'm not saying Donald Trump is a born-again believer, because I do not believe that he is one. I do believe, however, he's going to leave Christians alone. Donald Trump is not going to persecute Christians. Donald Trump does not persecute Christians who say that homosexuality is sin. Unlike some of the Christians who cry about Donald Trump's support of the LGBT, or public support anyway, they can cry all they want about it. But again, the same will usually support the homos when it comes against Christians. My 2 most well-known stalkers, who I just got confirmation are reporting my Facebook page, right? Trying to get posts down. I know that for a fact. I was told today by a friend. And I know the fact that they're watching me with fake profile. I was told that they'll watch everything I say and do. And if they say something they like, they will make a video or post or something like that to go against it, to whatever. But these are the same individuals that helped homosexuals try to take the rights of Christians away. So they're mad at Trump, who publicly, and I believe he only did it to pander to them to get the votes. But these are the ones, again, Trump is not going to take our rights away. Matter of fact, he'll probably expand them or at least leave them intact. Whereas Kamala Harris admitted she wants to take them away. So think about that. We have a reprieve. I believe it's a small window. Okay? Small window. And I believe the prayers of the saints, right? And this is proof of, by the way, there's a remnant here. How many Christians hate Donald Trump that prayed against him or said whatever? So again, their prayers were not answered. The prayers of the righteous were answered, because how many genuine, I was praying Donald Trump would win. I know David was praying Donald Trump would win. I know Jim Gillis was praying Donald Trump would win. I know many Christians out there were praying for Donald Trump to win. And God answered the prayers of the saints. He ignored the prayers of the false prophets, the false teachers, the ones who didn't want it to happen, the ones who tried to stop you. Again, the people that tried to stop you. The ones who tried to stop you or convince you not to vote, that would have promoted the kingdom of darkness. Remember, look, these false teachers and these God haters that call themselves Christians, everything they do is literally to try to stop Christians, right? Use the two examples of the ones that helped the homos in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. They try to convince Christians not to vote so that Kamala Harris can get in. Who would have persecuted Christians? Everything they do is about, ultimately, the goal is to persecute Christians. They are satanic. Everything they do promotes the kingdom of darkness. Okay? Everything. And there's a lot of people like that out there. Virtue signaling. People that are hurting families. But we need to put the crazy aside because, again, I believed with all of my heart that we have a very small window. We have an opportunity here. We have an opportunity as Christians to preach across this nation. And we should be doing as much preaching as we possibly can over the next 4 years. We need to preach. We need to speak the truth. Forget the fake Christians, the false prophets. The ecumenical system is going to, the Walmart of churches, the Greg Locks, the Joel Osteens, they're not going anywhere because people want to be entertained. Let them be entertained while we do our work, okay? Yes, expose evil men and women, but you know what? Expose them. You know, sometimes if they say something crazy, it's a little funny to do it, but for the most part, we need to, I believe we need to buckle down and focus in this time period we have right now. Because you know what? God is giving us a chance, an opportunity to go out there and reach people, to do something. And you know what? If nothing else, stop stop some of these kids from being groomed, molested, trafficked, or whatever in the future. I believe that. Oh my gosh. I believe that with everything in me. So, you're going to be called hater. You're going to be spit on. You're going to have hot coffee thrown on you. You're going to be punched. You're going to be kicked. You're going to be ostracized. You're going to be made fun of. But you know what? That's what's supposed to happen. If it's for Jesus. Now, again, there's people out there that claim to be Christian that get, hate because of their genuine just nastiness. But the fruit of a ministry will show whether somebody's good or bad or in whatever. So I hope you guys got something from this video tonight. I truly do. Again, congratulations to Donald Trump, 47th president of the United States of America. I'm very happy about it. I'm very thankful for it. I'm going to enjoy the fact that, we can have religious freedom, freedom of speech in the high courts. Any case that go up there, they're going to be upheld for freedom of speech. I'm very happy and thankful for that. And we have an opportunity here, Christians, to take advantage of it, and we should, every one of us. So if you've never thought about preaching before, now is the time to do it. And I'll tell you what, if you want to join us in a preach, mark your calendars for some time between February and March. We're going to go back to Austin, Texas. It's a great preach. We need a dozen or more to go down there. We go down there. Mark your calendars, okay? We are going down to Austin in February, March, depending on the weather, and all that stuff. We'll figure it out. If you are in Tennessee and we have a preach coming up and you want to join us, let me know. Let me know. Okay. We have a preach coming up in December in Tennessee. And we got a group coming down. We got a group coming down there. Don't worry. We're sure the haters are going to come out to stand with the homos and rebuke us. Because after all, they live for that, right? I rebuked Rich Pentecoste for rebuking a drag queen show. Got it. See, these Satanists, the ones that promote the kingdom of darkness, they don't really think things through because all they care about is going online and saying, I rebuke so-and-so, as if somehow their rebuke of somebody means they're righteous because, again, they're full of themselves. And remember, the same people that do that, by the way, the same one that claims that Reuben Israel died because he didn't listen to my rebuke. Well, that same guy said I was going to have a heart attack. Never happened. Matter of fact, I had it checked again today. I'm fine. With that doctor today, perfectly fine. So, just saying. Now is the time for you to pray and ask God to use you. And don't be, and if you're afraid, just get out of the way. If you're afraid of they, thems, if you're afraid to go out there, you're afraid of the backlash, you're afraid you're going to be punched, kicked, hated, spit on, reviled, then being a Christian is not for you. Being a Christian is not going to make you popular in the world. It's not going to make you rich. Trust me on that. You're not going to be wealthy being a Christian, okay? You're going to be despised and hated. You know, like I said, one of the things we want to do is we want to preach more. We can't because we're limited by our lack of funding. You know, I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars because I virtue signal on social media. I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to give things away to people. I just don't have it. One of the things we need to get is we need to get these little micro cams that are about this big that shoot good quality video because you can buy them cheap, but the video that you're going to get of it is going to be cheap, grainy, and it's going to be unusable in a court of law. They're like $300 a piece. We need to get like 3 or 4 of those things. And that's $1,200 in that. We need that because, you know, when they went down to that college, you couldn't whip out your phone. You couldn't whip out a GoPro because these kids took it and break it and steal it. All you have is a little thing that you can kind of conceal, but you need to get one that's good enough that's going to record good audio that they can't see or rip off your body. And unfortunately, we learned that lesson this past week. So we need to get some of those. Where do we get the money for that? This is not for my personal use. This is for ministry use, right? You still got Sister Christina down there in Texas, right? She still needs help. Where are people helping in that? It's amazing to me. So this is what we're doing, saints. Pray how God wants to use you and keep your eyes peeled on this channel here, our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@Christian Journal. At Warriors for Christ Official. Don't forget our Rumble channels and all the other platforms because I've got a couple teaching videos coming up. One of them is going to be don't give any place to the devil and what that means in its full aspect of things. A lot of people have an idea, but there's other aspects to it that people just don't realize. And what giving a place to the devil actually means and what it can do in your life and how it can wreak havoc if you're not careful in the areas that we ignore that the devil can take access to. So we've got that video come up. We've got our Catholic series still. We've got our other videos coming up on how about feminism, how modern women today have all been influenced by feminism in some way, shape, or form. And again, every woman I know, oh, no, I haven't. But I have yet to meet one that hasn't had something because of feminism. Because, and again, back in the day, men and women stayed home. They took care of their children. I understand it's harder today because of, inflation and whatnot and the economy and things like that. But the husband and the wife, the husband loved his wife, and a wife submitted to her husband. They weren't fighting with each other. The woman wasn't trying to exert her authority in the home, diminishing or belittling her husband on social media like that one woman did, and her husband finally left her for it. And then she was crying about, my husband left me after she completely humiliated him online. We need to talk about this stuff. We need to talk about the roles of husband and wives in marriage because you know what? The church isn't doing it. I've been very careful to avoid this subject, but I'm getting more and more phone calls from brothers and sisters in the Lord who need help in this area. And sometimes a spouse will speak, sometimes they won't, but we have to talk about this because, if we don't, the world's going to teach people. And we have to understand biblically what these things mean. So we have a lot of teaching opportunities coming up, and we're going to do just that because we want Christians to live life according to biblical standards, not our own standards, not our own version of goodness, not our own personal convictions. Okay, there's too many people out there trying to make you live under their personal convictions like, oh my gosh, if you see Star Wars, you're going to hell. That is not true at all, okay? That is not true. You're not going to go to hell if you watch Star Wars. If you watch a Marvel movie, you're going to go to hell. No, again, that's not true at all. Oh my gosh, if you watch Spider-Man, you're going to hell. Dare you? You see what I'm saying? Stop. People that do that are just, again, they're trying to exert control of you unnecessarily. They have no business doing so. And I'll leave you with this final quote. You can use this, one of my one-liners. Liberals, leftists, they did get one thing right about President Trump. They did get one thing right. He does beat women. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Hope you guys had a good time tonight with me. I hope you guys got something out of this video. I hope you're encouraged by it. I hope to see you guys again if you're new here. Just remember this, with shadow banning and whatnot, the truth is being censored, and even on X, a big, huge conservative creator just got censored just now. Million followers, he got censored on X. So it's crazy what's going on with the world, because I do believe that X still has a remnant within it of people. There's still a remnant in there that, that are liberal, leftist leaning, and they're trying to still silence the opposition. So that's what they do. I do believe they're still there. Sorry, I just got to type this in real quick. Fascist. These people, they say they don't even know what the word means. They don't even know what the word fascism means. They're because they're getting ready. Well, that's another video from that time. Anyway, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video tonight. Again, I really do appreciate those of you, who are on with us, stay with us, and support the ministry. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I'm thankful for everybody. But there's more, I think the next 4 years are going to be very good for us as a ministry. I think God is really going to expand our reach and what we do and how we do things. I think because we've been faithful. We have a ton of fruit as it is. Oh, real quick. I got to give you some news in Bartlesville. So no more fruit from Bartlesville, Oklahoma. So the 3 new councilmen, by the way, 3 brand new councilmen. The council has been reshaped in Bartlesville. The homo, the one that I shared the video of him being a homo, getting a shout out, and the mayor calling him out for, being a pastor and making backdoor deals with the homos. I've got screenshots where we have swayed the independent votes in Bartlesville away from them and basically got good candidates, good people in the council. Because I think that number one is our influence, exposing that evil there, and people are sick and tired of it everywhere, the LGBT and all the nonsense. So again, you guys, we were able to help get those LGBT supporting scumbags off the council and out. And the feminist liberal judge in Oklahoma Supreme Court has also been voted out, and she will be replaced with a conservative judge on the Oklahoma Supreme Court. Praise God for that. Because my case was one of the cases that was cited and used by the media that was working, the super PACs and the PACs in Oklahoma that were working to get her out. And there was 2 more that were trying too, and they just narrowly won because of LGBT, right? So we need to deal with them, because if we don't, they're going to be the ones who put their people in positions who will take our rights away, right? They're worried about their rights. They want your rights taken away. We can prove that. But praise God for that, praise God for that, that victory. Bartlesville hopefully has some sense that they're coming to now. Brent McGee is out on bail, but he will be going to prison soon. Don't worry about that. So there's more fruit there and how that happened there. Hopefully with the new council, next year we go preach pride. Hopefully they replace the police officers, the ones that are against us, the ones that try to infringe our rights, the ones that are, murdering people there, the ones that are shooting people for no reason, or, they're just quick on the trigger, the ones that, so again, everything good, blessings everywhere. I'm excited. I'm thankful for this new season that we're entering. I'm praising God for it, and I hope you guys are joining with us. Make sure you subscribe to our channels. Make sure you got your notifications turned on, because we got a lot of teachings, a lot of preaching coming up. And if you do want to help support the ministry, you can do so right down below on our website. Now, my website is currently hacked. I have my developer on it trying to figure out, somebody hacked the Christian Journal website. Go figure. It's got some gambling thing on there right now. But again, he's working on it. I gotta wait to pay him, which I don't have that extra money to pay him right now with everything else we do. So when that website's up, it'll be christianjournal.net/support. We have Venmo, which is at Christian Journal, Zelle, which is support at christianjournal.net, and our PayPal, which of course is paypal.me/XTRIAN Journal Media. If you want to help our sister Christina in Texas, if you want to help us get some of the more of the equipment that we need for our preaching, again, these are things that we should have and no problem, but we're laying it out there for you guys. Like I said, we got preaching opportunities coming up. So if you want to help support the ministry, you want to go beyond prayers and you want to help with our labor, please consider donating to the ministry so that we can get equipment. We have travel expenses and we can help other people just starting out. There's people that need bullhorns. There's people that need equipment. There's people that need all kinds of things in their ministry to help them started. We want to help them. We've got a couple ideas for website redesigns, how we're going to do things to get more saints involved. So keep us in prayer for that. But again, if you want to go beyond prayer, want to help, please do this. If you want any t-shirts, Amanda's on it. She can make whatever t-shirt you want. She's got her Etsy shop down there, which has like the Trump stuff in that. But the street preaching shirts, if you want them, message me, email me. I can't. And if you're on Facebook right now, I cannot respond to you. I've been banned for 3 days because of my stalkers that are reporting my posts, trying to get me off of there. They're scumbags, by the way. Again, everything they do is they're scumbags. They just want me off there because they hate what we do. They can't stand it. But no matter what happens, they can never stop us. Facebook is not the gospel. Facebook is not the end all be all. So no matter, even if I'm off Facebook for good, I'm still going to be around. But everybody on Facebook, you need to understand something. If you're watching this, you got to get me on alternative sites, X, Rumble, because, or I don't know what the Messenger, we got to figure out a messaging system like Facebook has that Messenger. We're going to need an alternative to talk to each other. So, because when I get banned off Facebook again, it's just a matter of time. It's going to happen. I need a way to communicate with you guys. So I'll figure that out as well. But with that said, thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Again, keep President Trump in prayer. Be thankful for the reprieve that we got right now for the season, because we're not going to get another one. We're not. We need to take advantage of this opportunity here, because if we don't, we're not going to get it again. Now's our time, Christians, and now's our time, brothers and sisters. Now is our time. It's your time to go out there and preach the truth. You're going to be hated. You're going to be mocked. You're going to be spit on. You're going to be ridiculed. You're going to be punched. You're going to be beaten. You're going to do all this is going to happen to you, but it's going to be happening because of Christ. Don't let fear intimidate, because if you let fear rule you, you're going to answer to God for it. So again, brothers and sisters, thank you so much. Appreciate you all. Love you all. I will see you guys back here. I don't know if it's going to be Sunday or not. I think we have a birthday party to go to. I'm not 100% sure. If I do, maybe David and I can do a video together. We'll figure it out. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got all the notifications turned on so you don't miss a beat. God bless, and I'll see you guys Sunday night.
I would like to address some of you upcoming street preachers. You have to understand, you're not going to be a pulpit preacher. You're not going to preach in very nice places. As a matter of fact, where God will send you, it's going to be a little bit dirty. Unfortunately, most ministers see their flock dressed nice, looking nice, smelling nice on Sunday, but we see them from Monday through Saturday at any given place. And so that flock is a mess. And you have to understand, when you preach open air, it's not going to be glamorous. Unfortunately, God's going to send you into the filth, the wickedness. You're going to understand why, even at one point, God resented even making mankind. And so you need to count the cost. There's nothing glamorous. There's nothing wonderful and beautiful. It's not, you can forget about being a missionary to Hawaii. If you're going to be an open-air preacher, your hands are going to get dirty, because the field that you're going to plow is filthy. You're going to look at sin in a whole different way. As a matter of fact, if you're a good street preacher, you're going to hate sin. You're going to despise sin. You're not just going to dislike it. You're going to understand why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, and why God destroyed the world with water and flood. And so if you're a young open-air preacher, this is what you're going to have to look up to. This is going to be the field in which you're going to be plowing in. And you need to rejoice in that and understand you're going to be hated. despised, and jailed working in a place like this. Because one day, I'm going to die, and I'm going to be with the Lord. And all this will be yours.